Angelina Jolie made her film debut in a movie with her father Jon Voight, with whom she later shared the screens more than once. Over the years, Angelina has made her mark in the films Maleficent, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, Seduction, Salt, and Extremely Dangerous. She became a style icon and was repeatedly included in lists of the most beautiful women. During filming in the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith, she managed to charm Brad Pitt and steal him away from Jennifer Aniston. In their subsequent marriage, they had 6 children, 3 adopted and 3 more biological. The first biological child was Shiloh Jolie Pitt, who years later, after her parents' disagreement, finally sided with her mother and shortened her last name from Jolie Pitt to just Jolie. The first significant role in the movie Elizabeth Hurley got back in the 90s. Then she also became famous by playing in the movie Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, and later Elizabeth appeared in Blinded by Desire, Gossip Girl, and Cheaters. In 2002, the actress gave birth to a son, Damien, by businessman Steve Bing, who tried to deny paternity but lost because of a DNA test. Damien since then has never been in contact with Bing, but, funnily enough, became heir to the multi-million-dollar fortune of his paternal grandfather because he bequeathed all his inheritance not to his children, but to his grandchildren. Damien partially followed in his mother's footsteps. He did not become an actor, but connected his life with the world of fashion. The stellar path of Monica Bellucci began not at all with the movie. First, she tried herself in the modeling business and, having achieved some success thanks to her ideal appearance, moved to the European cinematography, where she was also able to attract all the attention, playing in the films Melina, Irreversible, and The Apartment. Later, Monica starred in several Hollywood films, but it was in the 90s and early 2000s, when she was part of Italian and French cinema, that her popularity peaked. In The Apartment and Irreversible, Monica starred with Vincent Cassel, to whose marriage she later had a daughter, Dava Cassel. Like her mother, Virgo began as a model, but at first she resisted it because of the excessive attention. However, over the years, Virgo achieved fame and was able to isolate herself from the influence of her mother, to whom she was compared every time. In her youth, Janet Leigh was spotted by a Hollywood actress and thanks to her was able to sign a contract with MGM Studio. Over the next few years, Janet earned great fame and in the late 1950s received one of the main roles in the movie Psycho. Director Alfred Hitchcock took her only because he wanted to surprise the audience. Before him, no one has not yet disbanded the big star right in the middle of the movie, so when Janet, who by all the canons of Hollywood should have reached the finale of Psycho, suddenly flew out in the second act, many viewers were surprised. Psycho had an impact not only on Janet's career, but also on her personal life. After the shower scene, she became afraid to take it in normal life and began to double-check much more often whether she had closed all the windows and doors in her house. Interestingly, Janet's daughter, Jamie Lee Curtis, also became a star thanks to the horror movie. In 1978, she starred in Halloween, but it should be noted that his budget was only $325,000, that is, no one had any hopes for Halloween. But he earned at the box office $60 million and became a cult horror movie. Even before she became a household name in the United States, Sofia Vergara made a name for herself among Hispanic audiences. She gained widespread popularity in 2009, when she joined the main cast of the series American Family. During the filming period, she also glimpsed in Pretty Girls on the Run, The Scorecard, and Chef on Wheels. Manolo Gonzalez Rapal Vergara, she gave birth back at the age of 18 from her high school sweetheart Joe Gonzalez. This is where their relationship ended, and all the rest of the time Sofia raised her son alone. Manolo is quite a versatile personality. He has his own business, he works as a producer and sometimes acts as an actor, but he has not yet achieved great achievements in the movie. Many know Salma Hayek for her roles in such films as Classmates, The Veins, The Killer's Bodyguard, House of Gucci, and Haste Makes People Laugh. But the first success she achieved thanks not to these films, but Desperado, From Dusk Till Dawn, and Frida. Valentina, Salma's daughter, did not follow the path of her parent. Most of all, she likes to take pictures with disposable cameras, collect vintage things, and criticize her mother's films. Not many people know that Isabelle Huppert is a real record breaker in movie awards. Firstly, she became the only actress to win 5 César Awards for Best Actress, and secondly, she was the youngest actress to receive an Oscar nomination for Best Actress when she was only 20 years old. She is associated with such films as Nosferatu, Ghost of the Night, Queen Margot, Obsessed, Camille Claudel, and The Adele G story. For a while, Isabelle dated Daniel Day-Lewis, known for Oil and Gangs of New York. But they broke up before they had a son, Gabriel Kane, who played in his first movie at the age of 7 and then glimpsed in several other works. Notably, Daniel's other son, Ronan, became a director and got his father to return to movies after a multi-year hiatus to help him with the script and starring role. Grace Kelly became one of the most famous and memorable actresses despite the fact that she ended her career already at the age of 26. She starred in A Window in the Yard, To Catch a Thief, and High Society, but after meeting Prince Rainier III, she left her acting career, married him, and became Princess of Monaco. One of Grace's daughters, Caroline, for some time was heir to the throne and was engaged in the usual activities for a princess, learning languages, riding horses, dancing, and skiing. Nicole Kidman is an actress who has kept the bar high for 30 years since the 90s. She is one of the highest-paid actresses and has achieved this thanks to her many successful works in movies: Moulin Rouge, The Others 2, Practical Magic, Days of Thunder, Cold Mountain, Big Little Lies, Eyes Wide Shut, and The Perfect Couple. In her second marriage, to musician Keith Urban, Nicole had a daughter, Sunday Rose. Although she had every chance to become an actress, she took a different path and made her fashion show debut at the age of 16. Nicole admitted that she tried to talk her daughter out of this decision, but she was adamant and eventually got her way. Sharon Stone has always been adamant about herself. When she first started acting in movies, it seemed to her that she was extremely ugly and unattractive. Despite this, she played in Basic Instinct and fell in love with millions of men around the world. Sharon became a leading actress lightning fast, but in the mid-2000s she faced a drop in popularity, and since then she has not been able to regain the former positions she had in the 90s. Due to health problems, Sharon was never able to have a child, so she adopted 3 children: Roan Joseph Bronstein, Laird Vaughn, and Quinn Kelly Stone. Roan, born and immediately adopted by Sharon in 2000, began his movie career in 2021 as a director and continued as an actor. Emmanuelle Béart was one of the most popular French actresses of the 80s and 90s. She starred in The Charming Prancer, Mission Impossible, Manon from the Source, Heart in Winter, and a number of other films. However, starting in the 2000s, her demand began to gradually drop and Emmanuelle stopped flashing on the big screens as often as she used to. For the most part, Emmanuelle's decline was due to the fact that she changed her appearance several times, which she came to regret greatly afterward. Emmanuelle's daughter, Nellie, has a couple of movie jobs, but it seems she is not going to become an iconic actress like her mother. In the 80s and 90s, Michelle Pfeiffer was a star thanks to the movies Scarface, Batman Returns, Dangerous Minds, Grease 2, At the Bottom of the Ocean, and The Witches of Eastwick. Although her popularity has dipped somewhat, she has appeared in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Grim Shadows, Malavita, and Maleficent, Lord of Darkness. Pfeiffer adopted her first child, daughter Claudia Rose, and John Henry Kelly is her biological son. John tries not to flash in front of the cameras, and he is little known, but Claudia Rose made a couple of attempts to become an actress, however, not too successful. Acting career Sophia Loren began at the age of 16, and the first time she was interrupted by small roles until she signed a contract with a major studio, although even after that for fame, she had to seriously and long struggle. Marriage in Italian, Chakra, Yesterday, Today, Tomorrow, and Arabesque allowed Sophie to stand out from the crowd of numerous actresses and make a name for herself. Carlo Ponti Jr. also connected his life with creativity, but only with music. He became an orchestral director and managed to work with dozens of orchestras, including the Moscow Chamber Orchestra and the Russian National Orchestra. Brooke Shields is known for her very unusual roles in the films Blue Lagoon, The Pretty Child, and Endless Love, which were uncharacteristic for an actress of her age. Brooke continued to act for a few more years, but left her career to study at Princeton University and later returned to the screens. Brooke's first daughter, Rowan Frances Henchy, did not follow the example of her star mother, and instead of starting to star in movies, she immediately took up studies.